Hi guys, welcome to the second in progress video for the RPG game that I'm currently working on. There's been quite a bit of progress since my last video, so I'll dive right in with the obvious. We now have completely random dungeons being generated. Each floor is generated separately, with a number of randomly sized rooms connected by corridors. Each room contains a treasure cache, with the exception of one room with the upstairs and one room with the downstairs. So if you move around the dungeon with the arrow keys to position your character on top of one of these treasure caches, pressing enter will launch the player into a battle. So I'll just quickly pause it while I talk here. So if you have watched the last video on this project, most of this will be familiar to you, but there are a few additions to mention. So the hero now has sets of abilities grouped into menus. In fact, I have reworked the whole ability system behind the scenes to allow for a much greater flexibility when it comes to the types of abilities that can be made and used within the game. So if I just continue the game here now, you'll be able to see an example of support abilities like the heal spell, which I can use here, and I'll just put my health back up to full there. That should be just good there, and I'll keep moving on to the next battle, to the next room. Here we go. I'll start the next one. Perfect example here to show off some of my AoE abilities. So as we go into here, because the fire wave spell, and that does a decent amount of damage to all enemies on the field at the same time. Now there's no mana resource in the game at the moment, so you can pretty much just use these abilities as you wish, really, at the moment, but that will come in time. But speaking of balance in this way, gone are the days where there was no limit to the number of demons you could summon. Now you have a very specific named squad. The numbers are limited, and the game will keep track of their HP. So if they do die between the battles, they're gone for good, really. As you can see, we'll just summon them here. So yeah, there are a finite number of demons at your disposal now. So as you will also notice in the game, I'll just pause it here. In addition to the changes for abilities and summoning, you'll see that there's some animations. Simple as these default animations are, for now they do the trick by showing the player who is attacking and who is getting hit. And I've built this system such that whenever a new type of monster is added to the game, it's quite modular and easy to set up what animations they're using. So any of the monsters can easily just use the default animations that we're currently using, or simply by changing some text in the JSON file, it will assign a completely different set of animations for that monster to use, if that's what I decide to do at the time. So I'll just continue this and re-enter the dungeon once I've won. And as you can see, as we're walking around, each battle that we win, the gold counter in the bottom left keeps increasing. Now at the moment there is no function to the gold. It's just really there as a bit of score at the moment, just to keep track of how well you're doing, really. But as I've moved around, you've reached the end of this level of the dungeon. So if I press enter on the downstairs, it takes me down to the next level of the dungeon, and it generates a whole new floor with new rooms and new treasure caches. each floor of the dungeon you go down, you descend, it increases the difficulty level. So each battle you find on this floor will be harder than the floor above, and again harder still each floor you go down. And it just keeps going like that forever at the moment. But if you go back up to the floor below, it brings you back to the previous floor, and as I go down to a room here, you see that it remembers which of the treasure caches you've already cleared. Yeah, so that really covers everything for this update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with when I've got more to add. Thank you very much.